Look at her name, Estroflicked. Right? It's pretty good, right? Better now I'm here. What about your day? It's been pretty good. Better than yesterday and better than the day before. So, steady on the up. All right. I want to get resurrected and then show you guys what I'm up to. Let's see. Close that. I don't have 50 windows open now, which is nice. Okay. How am I going to get out of here? There she is. Dead as fuck. I think we just cheese it, guys. Yoink. I'm out this bitch. Leaving combat, entering combat. Alright, so I want to see if Orgrimmar stuff's still going on. Looks like they're not doing calls for people to show up anymore. No more call to arms, I guess. Alright, we're good. So, let's check us out. I got a new way to spread love with my hate bringer, and Tony made a very good point of how it goes. So if you beat all of the hate out of them, there's only love left. Right? How is Prot Pally? It's ridiculously good, dude. I'm usually top DPS, if not top 2 as the tank. And I have a full Prot set here, so like if you look at the gear, it's really interesting because you don't just stack like defense and stam. You go spell damage, right? And so like this sword is not great for me tanking because I need something like, where is it? Let's see, I need something like this as a tank, a pally tank, because it's got 56 spell damage on it, and the reason being is because that ties into your Avenger Shield, but more importantly, primarily your Consecrate, which is how you hold aggro. They do have a taunt in TBC now. It's got a 15-second cooldown, and it only taunts up to 3 enemies, but I never have much trouble keeping aggro. Type of shit Pain from Naruto be saying. Can't complain about that at all. Hope you stay on the up, as I wish the same for me. You feel me? Ja feel, ja say? Yeah. So I'm pretty stoked on the on the weapon. I just got it yesterday. Pretty excited about it. So then we've got the tank set here. We can check this out. Shadowrun Longblade. So like this is a pretty traditional tank item, but from what I'm being taught about Prot is the shields that have the spell damage and like stuff like that. Feels so counterintuitive after playing a warrior for so long and tanking on a warrior. But how much bonus spell damage do I have? I guess I won't know totally because 125. Is that defense? Hold up. Okay, this seems kind of chill. Yeah, it's pretty chill. The Hellfire is not chill at all. When you first get to Outlands, it is nothing close to chill. But I also respect both of my Ret and Prot. So I'm doing a lot more damage in Ret. It's kind of nice. So I was trying to go for like a mean build, but I also have to level my two-handed maces. It's not all the way up yet, so it's still kind of hitting weak. I got a new Seal of Blood. Melee attacks deal holy damage equal to 35% of weapon damage, but the Paladin loses health equal to 10% of the total damage inflicted. That's really interesting to me. But I think it's better than Seal of Command, where it has a chance to hit. I'm stuck between Pally Priest or Mage. The thing with Paladin is you can kind of do all roles. DPS, tank, heal. I'm not a huge fan of Holy Paladins. As far as being my healer, they have their places where they're useful, but I will always prefer like a Druid healer or even a shaman healer. Huzzah, hello. Priest is good in this expansion. Mage is fine. And today, for the second half of the stream, I'm just going to be Bing chilling, like casually leveling. Might do a dungeon, not sure. I'm back, just FYI. If I do mage, it's arcane. So you can do arcane as a mage later on in levels. Oh, here we go. Hello! This guy just dive bombed the fuck out of me, dude. So you can do mage as arcane, but you generally need to be have a little bit higher level to make it really make sense. But I have seen one of my friends who used to be a coach for a Dota team, like whatever their LCS would be. And this was on private server days before they ever released TBC Classic or any classics. And he was like, I'm going to do arcane because the math makes sense. And I was like, what? And I never saw him lose a 1v1, not once. Like, it was the craziest shit. And this is supposed to be like the era of frost mages, I guess, because of their water elemental and stuff like that. So I think this John is still around. Maybe. We'll find out. That guy came in so fucking fast. Yeah, big mount. Raid to Stormwind. Oh yeah, I never checked Discord. Heading to Stormwind? I would be so far behind. I like Wrath on my own hosted server, even though it's boring, the content is fun. Well, Nightman made a really good point yesterday or the day before about Wrath and how like the topography really did a number on the world PvP. I've never considered that. It's a really good point though. I firmly believe that World of Warcraft died with Arthas and it was just downhill from there. Like they just got progressively worse, and I firmly believe both games can exist, like retail and classic, but I think this game is just a much better game all around. And I'm still figuring out a lot of stuff on Pally for TBC. I think Mop is fun. See, even by then, like, if you're not a monk, you're at a disadvantage. And that sucks. That doesn't feel good. Like, I don't know. I'd be jocking on mages. Wait till you get Cloak of Shadows, dude. Then it's gonna really feel good. Skunk! Aw, look at this guy. Pet. Speaking of, I'm gonna get Miss Little Kitty out. Mop was my first experience with WoW. Even by then, I think it's so dynamically different. Even classic to TBC, like, as a Paladin having Crusader Strike, meaning I have like an on-hit ability, is just wild. Or Avenger Shield, or being top DPS as the tank. I don't know, it's pretty different. Dovord. I really like Pokemon battles in Mop. I didn't do dungeons back then. Dude, I no-life Pokemon battles. I had the add-on where it would like play Pokemon music when you do a pet battle. These guys hurt.
I can't cast that. That's still recharging.
Bah!
That spell
Crazy.
isn't ready yet. I'm out of range.
I'm gonna put my trinket on because I feel like it's gonna be hot out here right now. How many do I need? One more of these.
It's still recharging. I can't do that yet. I can't cast that yet. That spell isn't ready yet.
At some point, I'm gonna go fishing again, which is gonna be riveting for the stream. Is there a leveling buff for catch-up? Okay, I'm gonna say this with apprehension because I know that you're gonna do it, and I really strongly, highly recommend against it because it takes away from the heart of the game. It takes away from the adventure of the game. It takes away from growing with your character. But they do offer boosts to level 58 for, I think it's $60. It's pretty busted. Like, you get a mount, you get this epic, or not epic, you get a ground mount, you get a flying mount, you get your skills to like 290. Granted, max level is 70, so it just puts you at the beginning of Outlands, right? And like, I don't think you will have nearly as much of an appreciation for how good Outlands is unless you've gone through Azeroth yourself. And I love Azeroth. I love vanilla. I think it's great. TBC is just even better. And it can be like hella overwhelming to just get dropped in on a class at level 58 with all of their abilities and just being like, oh, what is all this? Because I don't believe it gives you any tutorial of any sort. I play games no life, so why not? Dude, if you want to join, it's I'm going to type it here. Nightslayer Horde. So that's our server, and I should probably change the title. But be warned. Well, let me see. Are they still doing the whole thing where horde characters can't be created right now? So one of the things they've been doing is like, I think it's a good thing. Granted, it can be annoying. I think it's a good thing. There's a druid around, so for the sake of population balance, they will disable people making horde characters for a bit, and it's really on and off. So I think it depends on how many people are on. I think it depends on time of day. Grats. So like Aaron, it took him maybe 1 or 2 days to get in on a window that he could make it. And then I think Gamer got it within 20 minutes. Pokemon theme add-on for the pet battles is goated. Sorry for the delayed response. I agree. That's fine. I'll keep a lookout for it. So the cool thing about Classic is you don't have to buy any versions of the game. You just buy a subscription and you can jump right on it. And also this is on... Hold on. There's 2 different versions of Classic. Oh my god. I'm pulling it up right now. This is Burning Crusade Anniversary. Because they have like... They have Classic, and then they have... What else do they have? I forget. World of Warcraft Classic, Mists of Pandaria Classic, Burning Crusade Anniversary, and then World of Warcraft. So there's 4 different versions. You're looking for Burning Crusade Anniversary. Okay, so I'm done here. What else do I have? Timberwargs. Retail, Progression Anniversary, and Classic. One of them is on Mists of Pandaria right now. I need these wolfies. Oh! I should drop aggro from the other guy by the time he gets up here. I don't play retail, but I do play a mixture of the rest. And like I said, I firmly believe both games can exist. I will talk shit just for the fun of it, because it's, you know, it's fun to take a jab at it. But I really don't like the community in retail, or the lack thereof, if you will, because everything is pretty automated. Like if I wanted to run a dungeon in retail right now, I'd click this button, queue, and then it'll put me in a group and teleport us all to the dungeon. Then we run it without saying anything, and then everybody leaves at the end. And if you want to run a dungeon here, I've got to either hit general chat, or I've got to select one of these, put myself in it, and then whisper other people, or they have to whisper me, and then we have to coordinate and collaborate for the group. And then the in-game content cycle for retail is just pushing mythic keys. Like, I don't know, man. It gets so toxic. If you make one wrong move, you get called a racial slur. Like, that's the only time they'll talk to you, is to like tell you how they really feel.
That spell isn't ready yet.
Having a mage portal is also fun. There's mage portals in TBC.
That's still
And there's permanent portals in Shattrath, and then mages that can port also. Myth Plus is horrible for anyone but meta slaves. Yeah, I don't like that. I don't know. It's just like, it's so unappealing to me. Just all the other things aside, like not even considering the no community or anything else, or how like hoity-toity the transmog people get. Just mythic keys alone. Like, okay, so you do this dungeon at +3, and then you get a key again for +5, so you do it again, and then you do the same dungeon again with +9. Even a Cyber, top 5 druids, WW, and still can't get a party in Mythic Plus. I don't know what any of that means. Oh, by the way, for those unfamiliar, so this is Azeroth, like the old world. This is where you'll go from 1 to 58, essentially. And then you go to Outlands, and you start here in Hellfire, which you can see I've explored all this. I've gone through the Dark Portal. I've done all the quests. I just finished Zanger Marsh yesterday. So you go here from Hellfire, do all the quests here, and then it sent me to Terrakar, which is where I'm at now. And I learned really cool lore about Alkindune pretty recently, but I can't recite it correctly. Like, I know what it is in my head, but I don't know how to recite it. So I'll try to pull it up and see if I can make it make sense in a bit. Retail is so bad. I got benched from my raid team for hitting 770k single target DPS. That alone, 777,000 anything. The numbers are too high, and I know they do stat squishes, but even when they do stat squishes, you're still hitting for 10,000. You know, like your crits are still really big. Most human brains start to lose value and how big, like, if I hit for 1,000,000, it's just like, all right, well, I just hit for 4% of their health. But like here, when I hit for 1,000, like, I feel it. I appreciate it. I don't know. Cyber is top 5 druid player worldwide. Okay, cool, good for him. All right, I need one more. What is this? Shinor Talonite and Ericoa Feather. My AoE was touching 1.3 mil. That's a big number. He only top 5 because Druid, because I wasn't playing. About to be top 6. Hell yeah, dude.
That spell isn't ready yet. That's still recharging. I can't cast that yet.
Oh, it was big PvP doing the raid, so I'm getting some context of what happened. Big PvP didn't even make it to our gates. We made it damn near to the trade district. Good shit, brothers and sisters. So I guess they did a raid. Our guild countered it and then pushed back. So that's pretty cool. But I had a no mistakes or allow GM chasing achievements, and my only mistake was thinking I was going to fit in. Yeah. I wouldn't want to fit in there.
I am forsaken.
All right. 4, 4, 4. Take that.
Dark Lady, watch over you. Victory
Oop.
for Sylvanas.
Firewing liaison.
Beware the living.
Oh, I didn't read the second half of that. And my rotation on raid DPS stated it was supposed to 800k bench for a negligible difference. Haven't touched retail since that day. I don't blame you. That's ridiculous. What about being friends with people? What the fuck? When you're only just there to perform, what, you might as well just be playing the stock market, or I don't know, being in a capitalist society. Am I right, guys? What about the human connection? I need a fucking wolf.
That's still recharging. I can't cast that.
See, like, hitting like that just feels really good, and it was less than 2,000 damage.
Spell isn't
But having been hitting for, you know, from level 1 hitting for 5 damage to now, it's awesome. I helped them with understanding raid mechanics for Palace during P1 of War Within, got to 7 of 8 mythics. Guess that wasn't accounted for. I've been making hella money out here too. That's another thing with retail is like the gold values are exponentially higher, and they seem to like lose their value, funny enough. When you're like, oh, I gotta buy this gem, it's 10,000 gold. I was over here, I spent 70 gold on gems last night, and I was like, oh man, I felt a pit in my stomach.
That's still recharging.
But I had to get the Hatebringer decked out. I've been leveling enchanting too, and it's getting there. It's 335 out of 385. So I got a little ways to go still.
Cast that yet. That spell isn't ready yet.
Ooh, get away from me. Alright, what do I got now? And I'm so serious when I say, like, leveling is 80% of what I enjoy about this game. End game is fine and all, it's fun, but at a certain point you just start raid logging. And if you're unfamiliar with the term, it's like you just log in only to hit your raid on whatever day. And that's really it. But like the adventure is so fun to me. I used to be so end goal mind oriented. I was never present in the now as a person or in the game. And I just get so much enjoyment out of shit like this. I'm not supposed to be here. Where am I supposed to go? Here. Oh, damn it. It was not, once they got it down, I was useless due to a 30k damage difference. And see, like, 30k here is like, wow, that's a lot. But in retail, that's like one hit.
That's still recharging. I can't cast that yet.
Leveling is so fun. True. My knees, I tried to jump and I haven't jumped in so long I forgot how to land.
Spell isn't ready.
Alright, what are we doing over here? That's the difference between being me and being perfect given the gear at the time, 30k damage. So, a little bit of Kairi lore. This would be 2007 when this came out, right? So I was 15 playing this game. I'm 34 now. Back in the saddle again, but man, it's so cool. I've had several moments where I would, like when I first rode into Terracar last night,
I can't cast that.
I had the weirdest feeling of like,
That's still recharging.
just being proud of myself, because I remember my mind and my life at 15 and going up through the military and then like
That's still
getting out and this struggle after, like the childhood just carried over through all of my 20s, and I didn't even know I didn't know healing was even possible until my 30s, and just riding in with such a different perspective of the world, this world and the real world. I don't know. It's just nice to go back and travel the same paths I traveled as a kid. After all that I've been through, it felt good. Game, you're telling me you're not 21?
the spell isn't ready yet.
I need to get some food. What's sad about it is before midnight, I was still top 1K on the server on Malygos for Demon Hunters. I will say this. Demon Hunter is the most fun I've ever had on a class. Like, it's just... Ooh, it's just so smooth and fun once you figure out how to play it. It just feels satisfying, you know? I'm ass backwards. I like leveling in WoW and endgame in 14. It's such a shame about 14. I loved that game. I still have the original Final Fantasy 14 box with the CD in it. I bought it when I was stationed at Goodfellow in Texas. And so that was like before they did the Realm Reborn stuff. And I really love that game, but from what I hear and a little bit of what I've seen, that community is just kind of turned into a retail community. So I don't know what the deal is with that. But like Stormblood, that expansion was so fucking good. The story was so good. So I wasn't ever big on like Heavensward. I really enjoyed Dragoon as a class, but I ended up playing a Dark Knight, and then I think I played Samurai when I ended up quitting. I think that was the last class I played. I had a friend who played 14 on release, and I never trusted him saying it was good until a decade later. Do you want to see the box that I'm talking about? At the risk of me dying, hold on. Okay, check this out. Whoops. I'm probably gonna get got while I'm tabbed out here, but it's okay. I want to show y'all some stuff. So first of all, I've got Final Fantasy 11. Look at how thick this box is. This is a regular box for scale. And this one is 2 discs compared to like World of Warcraft originally was 4 discs. And like by today's standards, 11 would probably be a big turd, but let's see. I've still got the little codes here and the manual with a bunch of like registration codes on the back. What else do I have here? Look, it's got like the races in it. This folds out. Hold on, I think it folds out into a map, doesn't it? 11 is still active. Yeah, it does. It's a big map, a world map. Is this upside down? So I wonder if the world looks dramatically different. But there you go. Look at how tiny that text is. And then you got like the races. Okay. The Vanadil Buddy Pass. Your friend plays free for 30 days. Alright, so let's put this back. Now, I've got the original Final Fantasy 14 right here. This was before Realm Reborn, before they scrapped it and redid it all. This is what I got in Texas when I was stationed there. Still got the manual here. So this would be, yeah, 1 disc. 1 disc here. And what do we got in here? Okay, so I still have these on my Final Fantasy 14 account because registering this, they carried over into 14 around Reborn. So that was pretty cool. If you still have your account, you can get a super rare mount. I still have my account. I'm pretty sure I have it. Wow, look at this. Hold up. I just saw something. You guys got to see this. Their authenticator for the original 14. And then the difference, I wonder if you can see like how this looks. I remember jumping on 14 and being like, this is Final Fantasy 11 but worse. And then after that, you've got this. So I've got the PC version, but this is what I had on hand, nearest on hand. The PS3. What is that? A little bit different if you look at them side by side. And then we'll look at the backs. So yeah, little fun fact. I've still got my Warcraft 3 discs. Pretty sure the authenticator still works. Is this all one game, just different DLC? No. This game here is Final Fantasy 11. It's its own MMO. Final Fantasy 12 was a single player game. 13 single player. 14 was their second attempt at an MMO, which is still going and wildly popular. Hold up, let me kill this mob. And then these two are technically the same game, but what they did was this launched and it flopped badly. So they scrapped it and essentially started from nothing and made a Realm Reborn. So these are both Final Fantasy 14, but this is the remade version of it, the 2.0, if you will. Oh, that's the wrong one. Hold on. They had 2 MMOs. Yeah, they had 11 and then 14, which is still going and really popular. The PS3 edition was the edition that my friend used to play. He was married to a Canadian at the time. It's crazy how I followed his footsteps. What a callback to history. The Endwalker case is amazing. I have the PC one somewhere. I think I have a metal case too. Pretty sure. Both of them are still active. I'm certain 11 is wildly more less active than 14. Like the servers may still be up. 14 is dramatically more active. Fun fact on 11, I could only play it on my PS2, which was the thicker version of the PS2, and it required an adapter that you take this cover off the back and there's this big port and you plug it in and it like makes it to where it can go online. I've never played Final Fantasy. I only know of that long white-haired fairy boy because of Kingdom Hearts. White-haired fairy boy. You talking about Sephiroth, dude?
I can't pass that. It's still recharging. That spell isn't ready. That yet.
One of these days, I'll probably try 14 again, regardless of the community, because, like, I think if you go into something with a group of people, a decently sized group of people, you know, 4 people or so, fuck the rest. Aren't party sizes 4 people anyways in 14? Did you know Phantasy Star Online, the MMO released on GameCube in 2001, is still active? I played that. I loved it. Yeah, I only seen him from that, and also someone showed me a video of him fighting 2 people as a
I
spar.
don't have a target.
Angeal and Genesis. Good fight. When he cut apart the Junin cannon. I remember when that trailer released, and people were like, "Oh my god, what the hell? He just cut the Junin cannon." And then you play the game on Crisis Core, and you come to find out that it's just a simulation. One day I'll have to show you all my PS1, 2 games I've been collecting. 14 is good, but I'll tell you, so much more fun with friends, but the story is hundreds of hours long. I like the story. World of Warcraft, you know, you have Warcraft 1, 2, 3, sets up the world building, if you will. But the way the game plays, you have to either really read the text, or you have to like dive into the lore via YouTube videos and other stuff to like really grasp what's going on. Whereas Final Fantasy does a really good job of delivering out what's going on in front of you. But World of Warcraft can definitely get away with that because it's just so well made. I think I'm about to get dive bombed again.
I can't cast that yet.
Genesis's story is so sad. Yep.
That's still recharging. I can't cast that. That's still recharging.
These guys are strong.
That spell isn't
Going through mana like it's going out of style. Final Fantasy story is wildly varied in quality on XPAC, like Stormblood is just a slog. I loved Stormblood. I thought it was a great story. I thought it was one of their best stories.
recharging.
Much better than Heavensward.
Can't cast that yet.
As far as like a final arcing moment, especially. The one after Stormblood is, that's not, Shadowbringers isn't after Stormblood, right? Isn't there one in between?
It's too far.
Heavensward was peak. Disagree. Warcraft reminds me of Warhammer sometimes. I genuinely enjoy it. Shadowbringer, and then is it Endwalkers or is it Endbringers and Shadowwalker? I can't remember. The Shadow story was kind of weird. It got real fucking sanctimonious. Endwalker, okay. Heavensward did have really good environments, though. I will say that. I think if they had been able to do Heavensward with the way they delivered Stormblood, Heavensward would have been unbelievable.
That spell isn't ready.
Heaven, Stormblood, Shadow, Endwalker, Dawntrail. Is Dawntrail out right now? Or is that what's coming? Stormblood raids were peak too. Dude, what was the villain's name in Stormblood? The blonde guy? I loved the writing for that because it was one of those times where it was a villain, quote unquote, but it was like I totally understand like why. I understand his why. You know, when they make a villain that's just like, I'm evil because I'm full of hate and I want people to hurt. It's like, all right, whatever. But when it's somebody like Arden from 15, or even Illidan from this current expansion, the last boss of this. Xenos? Yes, that guy. Good writing makes the expansion so much better, dude. When you have to like, when you go to bed after a long session and you're laying down and you're thinking about like, damn, dude, this guy like went through this and that, and like I see where he was coming from. Not in an empathetic way per se, but just like an understanding. But when it draws the line of empathy, that's when it's good writing.
Cast that yet.
What, I'm supposed to grab something here. What? Eye of Vale Shinor? What the fuck is that? Is that above me? That's above me. I will say the villains in Stormblood were better, but the average quest was butt cheeks in Stormblood. I wouldn't say they were cheeks, but there was nothing like standout-ish about them, I guess. Arden is my dude. His laugh still haunts me. Oh my god, and his voice actor? Don't even get me started. Hold on, let's pull up some Arden voice lines. Hold up.
Go out in a blaze of glory!
Hello. Oh my goodness, that was so loud. Sorry about
Go
that.
out in a blaze of glory! Ha! Ah.
Look how happy off without. I believe Dorian matches
Why does it sound like that?
of the higher you.
Okay, dude, fuck off with this shit.
I'm afraid you're out of luck. The boats bring you here. Well, they'll not take you forth. I'm an impatient traveler, ready to turn ship. The ceasefire
What do we got
is
here?
getting us nowhere.
You'd best hurry.
Men into monsters, the likes of which you've seen. In Lucis lived a savior who could cure the afflicted. His body would come to host myriad demons.
Ugh, I actually just got chills. I can't even lie, dude. I just got chills hearing that. Ooh. Ever had a villain where you were like, I hope he wins? Tai Lung from Kung Fu Panda. I said villain. Not gonna lie, the reverb on that one line was nice. You know what I like about Noctis too? Is he wasn't your standard hero archetype. Like myself included, a lot of people didn't like him until the very end when he came into himself. You know what I mean? Like
That's still the charger.
he grew up,
I can't cast that.
and I think he was written that way intentionally.
That spell is no.
Final Fantasy 15 was a great game with a 10-10 story if it was all in one piece. I know, they really fucked them on pushing that out. And that's such a tragedy of how that's just the state of game development these days. We used to get a Final Fantasy every 1 to 2 years. Now there's 15 years between them. And when it was time for 15 to be pushed, you know, they had one director of the game, and then they got rid of him halfway through development. The new director comes in and starts over from the mess that was left. And then it was all coming together and got forced out for the shareholders.
That's still the
And in hindsight, you know, and in retrospect, like they were able to pull it all off and make it all come together. But upon release, a lot of people were unhappy, rightfully so. I'm easy to please, so I was just happy to have the game to play it finally.
spell isn't real.
Okay, here's how this ties together. When I was 15 playing this game, World of Warcraft, I remember watching Final Fantasy 13 Versus trailer for the first time. I was in Terracar Forest doing Sketty's dailies when that trailer dropped. And 15 came out in my mid-20s? Mid to late 20s? Tidus is still the best pro tag. I don't give a fuck, bro. Wasn't even real, but felt real. That one was gut-wrenching. Arden, he deserved to sit on that throne as much as Noctis did. Agreed. He probably had more right to it. But then you get into the semantics of like, how does the throne even really work if you lose it? Putting Critical Story in DLC is diabolical. And they didn't do that intentionally. Like the director, I mean, he didn't want it to be that way. He was forced to push the game out unfinished. One Piece? Never seen it. Dude, you gotta watch One Piece. Okay, let me sit down for 4 months straight so I can get through half of it. Let's be for real. Dude, One Piece Season 2 is coming out after 1,200 episodes. Okay. They were related my alt. All right. I'm not even trying that. What do you mean never seen One Piece? Just watch for 12 hours a day for 1 month. You be there. I'm good. Could have shared responsibility and brought the two warring kingdoms together officially. Why the fuck are all these people here all of a sudden in my questing area? They were related by all technical standards. Now I understand the sentence. I'm for real starting to get triggered, like not being able to comprehend chat today.
I can't cast that yet.
I couldn't tell you the last time I've watched a show of any sort, whether it's like a show like Stranger Things or Breaking Bad. I think Breaking Bad was the last TV show I've watched.
That's still recharging.
And this feather drop rate sucks dicks.
Spell isn't ready yet.
Dookie buns.
That's still recharging.
Fallout is a banger show. I've heard it's good, and it's got Walton Goggins in it. I'm hopping back and forth between an IG chat and this. That was on me. I'm rushing, should be dragging.
I can't cast that. That spell isn't ready yet. That's still recharging.
Wait, what came out? What finished first? Game of Thrones or Breaking Bad?
Spell isn't ready.
No, that's not fair because I didn't watch all of the end of Game of Thrones. When did I stop that? I stopped when it started getting really gay. I forget what happened though. Like Jon Snow dies and then gets resurrected and then shit starts getting like really weird. I don't know. I showed up for the brother fucking and then got hit with like resurrection, dude. I don't know. I'll just be over here jorking my peanuts on World of Warcraft. Breaking Bad ended first. I know that's the last show I've seen to completion. Ooh.
I can't cast.
Leave me alone, little priest.
That's still recharging.
I left after they stopped the bro fucking. That's what I'm saying, dude. You feel me? Ja feel, ja say?
That spell isn't ready yet.
I really liked when they pushed the child out of the window after fucking siblings.
Cast that yet. That spell isn't ready yet.
I should run for political office one day.
I can't cast that yet.
No, it gets weird when you find out that Snow had been sleeping with his aunt. I mean, that's par for the course. That's why I got into the show. You fucking nasty. You nasty boy.
That spell isn't ready.
Ooh. What's the over-under on this warrior tries to jump me at some point if I stick around? I kind of want him to. I don't like to start fights, but I sure do like to finish them. See, if he's got full rage, he could bandage and just try to jump me while I've got this mob. I've got an idea.
I can't cast that yet. That's still recharging.
Oops. Wrong judgment.
That spell isn't ready yet. I can't cast that yet.
I was fishing yesterday and I happened to be in a call with Aaron. So I was streaming and, you know, I don't even have my fishing or my weapon equipped. And a warrior charges me. And they had like a whole 5 seconds where I was like finishing something I was doing before I got to the fight.
Still recharging.
And then equip my weapon and then opened on them. And the only reason I blew bubble was to break a fear because I didn't have my trinket on. But I finished the fight with like 85% HP, most of my mana. I got sapped in cat form. Ask the guild. That sounds weird. I brain dead right now. That does happen in the books, though. Bendrick is on his 7th life, and Jon is technically dead right now in the books. We don't know if George R.R. Martin is bringing him back. My theory on George Martin is that he can't finish the books, because if he does, then he'll just die. I think the tension of not finishing the books and, like, having that hanging over his head, of like, I gotta do this, I gotta, but then, like, his avoidant nature, I think that keeps him alive.
That's still recharging. I can't cast that. I need to target something first.
Did you get sapped or did you get gouged? Like, were you in a fight and got sapped? Like, what were you doing when that happened? Martin worked on Elden Ring and he cooked with that shit. He did. But you know what he didn't do while he was doing that? The books.
The spell isn't ready yet. I can't cast that.
Every time I see GRRM, I think it's get ready with me. I'm fucking brain rotted out.
That's still recharging.
I got dizzy and stood there with purple stuff. You might have gotten gouged. Were you in combat? Like, what were you doing? He was interviewed during the night of a 7 Kingdoms press run. Wins is 1,100 pages deep. Do I need anything from Blood Furnace? Those are good. That mace would be pretty sweet. I can't read the books. I would read the books if I didn't watch the show. Yeah. Need 400 more according to him. I personally don't believe it. I'm telling you, dude, I think I'm onto something. I think he intentionally can't finish it subconsciously. Because, like, what does he do then?
That's still recharging.
It's like when a president gets out of office and they just, like, decline in health really quickly.
That's still recharging. I can't cast that yet.
I'm gonna tank this dungeon for a guildie. He's been asking for, since I've gotten on WoW, he's been trying to find a tank.
That's still recharging.
At some point tonight or tomorrow, peek what I sent you. Oh, you're not in cat form. You shapeshifted out and got sapped as soon as you got out. Silly hoe. I mean, the government has a retiring home for anybody running for office. No, I don't eat babies or anything like that. And I'm not into kids like they are, but like I do say really off the wall shit. So it makes me think that I should run for office. What is your foreign policy on Syria? And I'd be like, that's the one. Where is that on the map? You know. I'm just kidding. I know exactly where it's at, but Jafiel Jase? I really want this warrior to open on me. Ooh, my fault. All good. Yeah, you had just shifted right when, I mean, that was crazy timing on his behalf to get you right when you fucking shifted out. This warrior's got full tank gear. That's why he's not doing a ton of DPS. I would just start speaking French to fuck up the public. What are we gonna do about the housing crisis? Je n'ai pas possible.
That's still a charge. That spell is on. I can't cast that. I need a target.
Alright, it looks like that guy got a tank, so that works out. I keep forgetting that macro does not work when in cat form already. Small lessons. Which macro? What are you trying to do? Big Papa DT stated he wanted to find a new name for the NFL because soccer is the true football. Big Papa DT. Oh, you mean old Grump. I was like, Papa DT? Who's that? These feather drops are abysmal, dude. I'm leaving. And you know he's gonna say that shit and then come out with, we have rebranded. We're calling the sport America Ball because it's the most American. It's the best sport. Football is great, but America Ball. I mean, look at the halftime. Next year, we won't have Bad Bunnies running around. We're going to have Kid Rock, the greatest. Donald Ball. Donald Ball. Donald Ball is so stupid.
That's still a charge.
Donald Ball. Yeah, dude. I love that so much. Oh my god. Oops, wrong button. I wonder if Maz is on. He is not. Am I friends with him? Or am I able to message him? Hold on. I can't see any names because it's fucking in this dumbass mode. You're forgetting the I'm not on the list in the middle of the speech. Nobody gets on the list more than I do. Look at the list. I'm named more than anyone. I'm the greatest.
I can't cast that yet.
You know, one thing that's helped a ton, and this might have been partially helped by having done psilocybin in the past, but like knowing how to become an observer versus the experiencer, and it translates into even the smallest things like I'm having anxiety versus I see that anxiety is pregnant anxiety, anyone? But like when you're feeling real shitty, right? And you're just like, oh, I'm so anxious, and then having that switch flip of like, you know, you just kind of go outside of your body and look at yourself and like, oh, there's anxiety there. I wonder what it may be from. It kind of brings you down from like the freak out spiral. And that doesn't mean I'm not immune to panic attacks or some shit, but it's a lot less. And then in the big picture of things, like when I see terrible headlines day after day, which I don't go looking for, but just being the observer to that instead of like the experiencer, like until I get thrown in a gulag for how I want to present myself physically, you know, it's not much observing there, but even still, it'll translate to some degree. It's done wonders for the mentals. I swear he just yaps. I can't listen. I don't avoid it. Like I don't try to stay ignorant. I have my finger on the pulse of what's going on, but I don't let it eat me up like it used to. It used to really get at me. I need something up here. Oh, this thing. Oh, I should have buffed that mage. They could probably benefit from getting mana restored. Boink. Oh, nice.
Still recharging.
I've never been political, so I never watched or looked at headlines. Just not for me. I'll live my life ignorant.
I can't.
And that's your freedom to do so, man. That's the freedom I thought I was fighting for. And even if it wasn't, I think it's what's in here that counts, because, you know, at the end of the day, see, I don't like the people that are like, you can't say you're not political, and with what's going on, silence is violence, you're complicit. Like, what do you want people, what do you want someone to do?
Charging.
What do you want Master God 69 to do about ICE in the airports? Please tell me.
Too far away.
And I'm not saying be crippled by it, but not everybody has the fucking capacity. It's hard enough to survive right now, dude. And then you have the fucking concept of doers versus watchers. The bystander effect exists because it's part of human nature. A vast majority of the population are not the doers, they're the, and I don't mean this like sheep and leaders or whatever that analogy, but it can translate to that or sound a lot like it. But some people, they just don't have the capacity, whether it's the emotional capacity, the mental capacity, the physical capacity, the financial capacity. Like, there's a lot of factors that go into that, of like getting stuff done, whatever stuff may be. As long as I can walk to the store without being arrested, I don't give a fuck. Life is too short to be wasting energy hating people for different opinions. Amen, dude. Like that John that hopped in the stream earlier,
Still.
at the beginning of the stream,
I need to.
they clearly dislike me based on physical representation alone. They've already decided what kind of person I am. They have me in a box of how I'm going to be. They want a reaction to reinforce their cognitive bias. And I like to think I didn't give that. I try to be human with every person I interact with, because I know what it's going to be like putting myself online, especially in the current climate.
That spell is.
And I'm not for everyone, dude. I'm not here to be liked and approved and enjoyed by everyone. Because the people that do like me, those are the ones I care more, like, the most about. I care about all people.
Still.
But the ones that, like, matter as far as my circle are the ones that love me for who I am. Not how I look, not my opinions, not my beliefs, just who I am. Because none of that shit is a factor of my character. Beliefs can change, opinions can change, looks can change. But what doesn't is, like, the character of who you are as a person. Generally speaking.
Spell is.
There's just some things that are inherent in your nature.
I can't cast that yet.
You care about me? I do. I care a lot about you. A whole lot. You handle everything very well. You're very calm and professional about everything. I'm trying to think of something, like, I know there's some things that I don't handle well. I know that I've grown exponentially when it comes to external validation. And, you know, I spent all of 2025 in therapy, finally trying to get help for myself instead of helping everyone else but me. And we did a lot of work and made a lot of progress, but you know what did the most work? Is just embodying love. And when you do that, like, your need for external validation, it doesn't even
Cast that yet.
exist anymore, because you're just grounded in, like, it's like a knowing. I know that love is the reason that I am alive, the reason I exist and carry on. And I don't mean love like romantic explicitly. I mean all forms of love.
Still recharging.
Like, there's many people in this chat that I love dearly. Does that mean I want their cock inside of me? No. Does that mean I want a ring on it from them? No.
Spell
But
isn't ready yet.
embodying love allows you to give it freely, because you have no weight on the return of it being given out. You don't factor in, like, if I do this, then I will get this. This is such a dumb example, but that mage that I buffed, I was like, oh, he could probably benefit from this buff. Not, I should give him this and he might buff me back. Because then if he doesn't buff me, then I'm disappointed. I give him that because it can help them with whatever they're doing. It's such a minor, small thing, right? But it translates into everything, dude. And once you become grounded in the embodiment of what you know you're about,
Closer.
people can say and do whatever, and I'm sure there's things that could be said that I might rattle around in my head more than once, but at the end of the day, I know who I am. They've not been through what I've been through, and I've not been through what they've been through, but I do understand psychology deeply, having worked in mental health for so long.
That spell is
The projection is so real on so many things. Like that person, that individual had to have something happen where they either grew up in a very strict environment where they learned to internalize and repress whatever parts of themselves they're not able to express freely, and that makes people mad. If they have made themselves into a framework, a cage of their own from their own upbringing, and then they see someone living authentically and freely, it bothers them because their subconscious knows. You can lie all you want to yourself, but your subconscious knows the truth.
still recharging.
There was some posts I saw from a person here locally. I saw it yesterday, and it's an individual that I've known for many years. A couple years ago, we hung out one-on-one. They were going through it big time, and like, I reached out, and they wound up coming over. We went on a walk out here and just talked about things, and I just listened. And then they're like, the latest post they've made was about they need to get rid of the 19th Amendment because liberals are turning men into femboys. Like, it was just kind of a rant, an illogical rant, but they're turning liberal men into femboys, and the only opinion he would trust was a Republican woman or something like that. So like, it contradicted itself in this statement of like, get rid of the 19th Amendment, but I would trust these types of women's opinions. Posting that, knowing that his interaction with me is totally contradictory to what he's saying. So something has happened along the way to where he has been radicalized in some degree because of something he's got going on within himself. Almost 100% of the time, people being hateful for whatever reason is because it's projection. They've either been hurt and they want to put it back out the way they got it, or they have something in themselves they see in you and it bothers them subconsciously. And then, you know, that's preyed upon by the powers that be in a lot of ways to have us fighting culture wars so we never fight a class war.
That spell isn't ready yet.
I don't believe in anything besides life is nothing but death and taxes, but the love is what makes us special. It's what made humans the apex predator. I think it's why we do anything.
Recharging.
Think about it. Even in a capitalistic society, the end goal is what? Money? No. The money is for what? To have the freedom to do what you want for the pursuit of happiness. And even the American dream packages that in a picket fence and a family, right? But even that is like a skewed reality because it's a dream, it's not real. But like the whole why of anything in this life is driven by love, is the underlying factor. But then you have all the stuff that hurts you along the way and brings you away from the true nature of who you are as a person. And that's not to say there aren't outliers that are born with psychopathy or, you know, whatever, but that's the very small percentile versus the majority of who I'm referring to here. How many people you know work not for themselves but for the people they care about? Yeah. There's something up here I need. Or is it down here? Why did I do that? That's the wrong one. Is it this distinguished gentleman here? Unconditional. Oh, I missed something. I care about you too, Kairi. I love you, girl. Type shit. Type shit. Fuck you. Unconditional love. Yeah, that part. The unconditional part is really important. At your best and at your worst and all the in between with no conditions on it. That doesn't mean you don't have to love some people from a distance. Like, my family was really awful to me when this all came out. I don't hate them. I was hurt. I still am hurt about it. But I don't hate them. I understand why they are the way they are. But I just have to love them from a distance. Nothing's going to change that. Doesn't mean I like them. But you know what I do like? Going to pee. Oh, my foot's asleep. Ugh. But you know what? I just had a thought. Another one of those moments, like I was talking about earlier, where the ambiance was playing. I just sat down and the music started playing and it hit me of like, I remember being 15 and hearing that music. And I was just kind of like in my 15-year-old mind for a second, just observing it. And after all the stuff I just got done saying versus thinking about my mind back then, because at 15, I mean, I was already so damaged from life. I'd already been SA'd more than once. My best friend had already been murdered. The killer walked. A lot of stuff had happened already at that age. And then from one side of my parents, you know, I got adopted. So like my mother was the neglect side, and my dad was the emotional abuse, if you will. The kind of like hidden behind a joke, but everything is really mean what they say to you. But it's a joke, so you can't be mad about it. Just like getting bullied as a kid. Like, dude, why adopt a kid if you're just gonna bully them, right? So I'm looking at myself, at my 15-year-old self, and like, this was my first drug ever, was World of Warcraft. It was the first time I ever realized, like, I can escape for a little bit and get out of all that. And that I am so grateful that existed, because I don't know if I would have made it without that. But that's also when I first developed an addiction. And that translated to later in life with alcohol in a very big way. Because I grew up in a childhood of trauma, so I did the only thing I knew to do and signed up for more trauma in the military. So then I get out, I wind up divorced, homeless, and then my new escape now is drinking. It's just the same, it's just a different source. And both of them have negative impacts. Anything without moderation will destroy you. And the alcohol was a different type of demon, though, because it really skewed my mind into like a hateful person, a shell of who I was truly at my core. And for me to have found my way back to this and to myself, after all of that, to be able to say those words that I said a moment ago and mean them sincerely. I couldn't have done it without love. And it was love from other people that pulled me through and kept me alive until I found a way and remembered, or was taught or learned how to love myself too. Yeah. I guess what I'm trying to say is I grew up in these motherfucking streets. Come here, Erico head ass. Bah!
It's
Bah,
still
bah.
recharging.
Get wiggled on, pussy.
Cast that yet. It's still recharging. I can't cast
Got one for you.
I don't
Delivery. Gave him the old bonkin' slimer.
that spell isn't ready yet. That's still recharging.
Whew, 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 that was nasty. Thank you for sharing that. It hit deep. It hit deep for me too. It was just a profound revelation of a moment. Like, I mean, for those that do know the story, you're going to hear it again for the umpteenth thousandth time. But for those that don't, I sat in this same chair in this same spot here, December 21st of 2020, and completely full sin tried to check out of this life, having lost all connection with myself, and still couldn't tell you why that gun didn't fire,
Still recharging.
but it was thanks to the love of people that was shown to me before, during, and after those times that allowed me to find my way back to me too. I wouldn't be here were it not for love. I didn't do it all on my own. I did barely any of it on my own, to be honest. I wouldn't have done it without you guys or the people here physically, like in my vicinity. And that's the beautiful thing about love. It's not about doing it alone. It's not meant to be alone. It's meant to be shared.
I can't cast
'Cause my belief is that what we're all from, the source, is just love. Oh,
that spell isn't ready yet. That's still recharging.
oh, that's my last potion too. I need to go buy some stuff.
That spell isn't ready. I can't cast that yet.
Even the loneliest people can still find some love. Love is everywhere. It is. You know what else is everywhere? The good in the world. There's so much good in the world that it becomes white noise to us. And that's why we just dial in and harp in on negativity like it's our primary focus, because we just tune out the white noise of the good in the world. And dude, becoming present and grounded, dude, sometimes it's like being on drugs all the time, where you can just go outside and be like, wow, this shit is crazy. And I'm not saying every day is a good day, but the good days are really fucking good. And that doesn't mean I don't deal with loneliness either. Like, I have found a lot of peace, but not without the cost of being lonely from time to time. I'm still learning how to navigate relationships in a healthy way. All forms of relationships. And I was gonna say I don't think I'm ready for dating, and I don't like that phrasing, but that was my initial thought. And it's not about me trying to be ready. And there's no perfect time I'm looking for. I just don't feel called to it yet. Like I've tried dating here and there. There's myriad reasons and factors that go into like what does and doesn't work out, but I don't know. I'm happy right now, and I want to keep growing, keep thriving, keep learning me, And maybe one day I'll share my love with a partner like that, or maybe I won't. And I'm okay either way with that. I think switching from like that compulsion of needing it that I've had for so long to just, it will or it won't, but I want to attract, not chase. And it's hard to attract if I'm sitting inside playing WoW all day, but dude, it's TBC, man. Come on, this game's, I gotta get in while it's good.
Fight well.
Who?
Sub go with honor.
Is this guy about to get loose on me? Hold up. Okay.
Blood and thunder.
Do I do it twice? I have a lot of relatable experiences, and I'm not trying to take away from you saying music didn't judge me ever. Wouldn't be here without the song Sri Vishnu Lanka. No, I don't think you're trying to take away. I do that often, where I will say a similar situation in an attempt to relate, not to try to pee farther. I have no stake in ego when I say, like, you know, I've been through X, Y, Z, because I don't identify with my wounds. And everybody's got to understand that circumstances are always different. Like, oh, even, here's a great example. 4 guys are in a Humvee, and it hits an IED on the side of the road, and they survive to whatever degree they survive to, but you ask all 4 of them, and you're going to get 4 different stories of what happened there, because it was different experiences for each one of them. But what isn't different is the feelings that follow their circumstances. So you can have 2 different individuals get essayed in different ways. Like, there's no minor or major, like, any transgression doesn't have to be qualified to have the feelings that followed after be valid. Trauma bonding is real. There is solitude and suffering together. Trauma bonding gets thrown around a lot in pop culture, like pop psychology. And a lot of people don't understand what trauma bonding is, because they will say trauma bonding as if it's a negative thing. And that there is a way to like trauma bond in the sense of an abuser, an abusive type situation, but connecting over shared experiences is not trauma bonding. That is not what that is. Trauma bonding is an abuser and a victim, and the abuser creating a cycle or loop that keeps the victim in a place of helplessness where they have to come back for safety, even though that person is unsafe to them. That's trauma bonding. Might be for using the term incorrectly. Oh, I wasn't aiming that at you. And I'm not upset with you for how you use it. That's just a thought to throw out there, because I see it a lot, especially from my girls when I'm talking to them, and like, you know, they'll talk about they've had similar experiences with guys, and they'll be like, oh, we're trauma bonding, and I'm not trying to be semantic about it. It's just an important distinction to make, because it takes away from what actual trauma bonding is. That's like, people using PTSD all the time for everything. Like, I got jumped in Hellfire Peninsula. I've got PTSD from when I go out there. Like, and I don't mean because it's in a game. I mean because, like, it didn't traumatize you. It's just something you remember, and that's 2 different things completely. Just a phrase we use in the core. Well, you can bond through shared traumatic experience too. But it still stands for what I was saying earlier about bonding over the experience, not the trauma cycle, if you will. My wife, who struggles with PTSD and mental health, it wasn't until she read the 48 Laws of Power until she took control of her life. I'm not familiar with that book. You got a link for me? A stinky linky? I guess I can Google it while this auction scan is running. 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene, controversial bestseller that distills 3,000 years of history into 48 amoral laws for gaining and maintaining power, drawing from figures like Machiavelli and Sun Tzu. Nice. The laws such as never outshine the master and conceal your intentions. Or okay, I see. Those are just more like frameworks of navigating life. Praise. Readers find it well-structured, useful for identifying manipulation, and insightful for understanding power dynamics. Criticism. It is criticized for promoting unethical behavior, cherry-picking history, and being dangerous if taken literally. That's everyone. Everyone's interpretation is their own. That's fucking the point of art. It's a book that helps you understand the world and not be taken advantage of. I just tabbed back in. Yeah, I get that. It bothers me too. Given my own diagnosis, I understand that people are free to say and do as they think they... So I shouldn't let it bother me. What's out of my control should be out of my mind. Yeah, but to go back to my point of like overusing... Here's a great example. The government labeling people terrorist in 2001, that was like, oh, that's really bad. That's a terrorist. Oh my gosh. Now, if you just disagree with someone's political opinion, you can be labeled as a terrorist. It's been used so much that it's lost its weight or its power in the word itself. Just the same with PTSD being thrown around freely. I think I've ran these boots 3 times. I'm not posting those again. I will post these. We'll drop them to 39. Oh, you know what? That just switched my fucking screen. Whoops. I forgot my number pad is my hotkeys. What did I come here for? I need potions. Let's get those before I forget. Major mana. Boink. Oh, they're down right now. Nice. Okay. Not gonna lie, I love the term Nazi. Word gets thrown around like I've been called a Nazi for saying basic human rights shit. Well, that's another prime example. Getting overused to the point where it means nothing. I think I'm gonna disenchant those. Yeah. Pop these Johns up. Oh, I just hit the 4-hour mark. Nice. Look at me. I was talking about hopping off at 2 hours. Now look at us. You can buy Arakoa feathers? What? Why? Oh, I bet they're rep turn-ins after, aren't they? I bet they is. Oh, let me see if there's any recipes I can buy for enchanting. I just want to peek. What's gonna be my... Wait, no, it's formula. I will also say I hardly speak on my diagnosis because I do catch a lot of flack for not seeing combat. But, you know, nobody grew up in my household, might not have experienced war on the front, but every day was a fight for survival until I left at 16 Jaffiel. PTSD is not intrinsically tied to combat. And people that say that are... I'm willing to bet it's other veterans gatekeeping other veterans, which is mind-boggling because that is the community and demographic that needs to stick together more than any other, because the government's damn sure not going to look out for us. But that's another symptom of untreated mental unwellness and no means to get out of it. So people are just projecting their own pain back and forth. Like, I'm sure you've seen where you say you're a veteran and then somebody will be like, are you a combat veteran? It doesn't matter. If I am and you're not, you still swore that oath. That's the bottom line. You wrote a blank check up to and including your whole life for the sake of the country, whether you were fixing cars or flying jets. It's all part of the machine, and you all swore the same oath. I don't understand the fucking, like, piss contest, but it's some people just want to say, like, oh, well, I did more, therefore my pain is more valid. They're trying to validate their own pain. I mean, come on. I had PTSD by the time I was playing this TBC the first time. And I was 15. Had I seen combat then? No. These are getting pricey. Life stealing. Was a wild ride, but with where I'm at now and how far I've come, I would not trade my life for anything. It made me a goofy, young, spirited, fit, well-mannered gentleman. Yeah, for all the shit I've gone through too, I wouldn't, like, you know, you see those things where it's like, if you could go back and tell your younger self anything, what would you say? I wouldn't say anything. I wouldn't change a fucking thing, even the bad. Because I'm here right now with you guys, and I'm happy. Could things be different? Sure. I don't want to find out because I'm happy. Damn, that's a good enchant. 4 mana and health every 5 seconds. That's nice. Winter's Might, 7 frost. This enchant I really want to get, and I can't go farm it because I don't have the key to Upper Blackrock Spire. But I just can't stomach the 200 gold. Should I do it, chat? I've got 700. I'd go back in time and put Bitcoin stock in my name and also invest in some special banks. Well, even then, you might be a totally different person in a totally different place. I don't know. I wouldn't change anything, but that's just me. Whoops. Oh, god damn it. I also, like, money is not a motivator for me, so I have a hard time, like, relating to that sentiment. Bracer, 6 mana every 5. I think I might do it. No, I'm not. But this boot enchant is nice. Crusader. I wonder if Crusader is even useful. Like, if it's a poor man's version of some other enchant, you know? I just got that. Major health. Is there anything at the bottom besides me? Chant Bracer, 9 stamina? Yeah, I'll take that. Unholy. Okay, for 75 silver? Sure. Stamina. Bracer. Did I just get that? Wait. I did. I just got that. Okay. Spirit to two-handed? Sure. Why not? For that much. As far as my input on the conversation, I do believe I'm going to draw back a bit. This got me thinking, not in a bad way. I'm just going to observe for a bit. Okay. Demon slaying? No. Really want stuff that can help me level my enchanting. Like that. Did I just buy that? I don't think I did. I'm gonna get it. If I could time travel, I would go back and expose all the fucked up shit in the government with pizza. Oh, it's out now. Deflection, already known. Oh, major intellect to two-hander. 3 gold. Yeah, sure. Sure. I wish it would keep me at the spot I'm on. Spirit, spirit. Spirit, skinning. Spirit, mana. I just got that for sure. Enchant cloak, minor agility. That's useless. Okay. I think we're good. Did I post everything I need to? Whoops. I've got some cloth I can send to someone if I want to see if they're on. I'll just they're in Karazhan, so I'm not gonna whisper them now. I'll just send it and make sure they're still needing it. Let me DE this stuff first though. I will say in a final note, if I don't come back, good night, everyone. And if I offended anyone, I do. You didn't. Good night. Nice. Good rolls. Good rolls. Sitting on a good amount of enchanting mats now for how much I had been selling them. I wonder what this looks like. Oh god, it's 50 golden mats. Yikes. I'm gonna have to spam creating my character. What do you mean? Are you able to make one right now? Or is it locked? What's my shield got? 5 stamina? Now I can do 18. And I've got the mats for it. Let's go. I don't know, but I'm gonna have to try. Yeah, let me know. So one thing you can do to keep checking is if you get on, it's gonna put you on Dream Scythe by default. That's a PvE server. The servers on Classic are not cross server. There's no PvP in the open world on there. So you'll go to the top right and click Change Realm, and then you go to Nightslayer. And then it'll either let you make a Horde character, or they'll be grayed out on the right. It's on the left part of the screen, but there's 2 factions, the Alliance and the Horde. And it'll be grayed out, or it'll let you make them. If it's gray, you can switch to Dream Scythe and then switch back to Nightslayer to check without having to reopen the whole game. Just a little life pro tip there.
Greetings, traveler.
Oh yeah, forgot to mail that. I've been talking so much, my voice is getting scratchy. Ugh. I heard to check the Discord. Hmm? What do you mean? Which Discord? to see if it's open or not. By the time you find out on there and get a ping or something, it's going to probably be closed again because everyone's going to rush to it. I think the best way is to just keep checking. And if it doesn't open up all night for some reason, which it might, early morning is the best chance to make the character. And once you have a horde character on here, you won't have that problem again. It won't be an issue. Ooh, look at all these quests. I have so many quests to turn in.
Dabu.
Dabu to you too, my G. Yes, but avoid the daylighters. They purge almost as bad as the boot baits. See, I don't know what you mean by boot baits. Your terminology is getting too out of hand for me. And with the way stream's been today, with people talking fucking nonsense nonstop, I'm like full tilt.
Yes. Time is of the essence. Look, Tom.
Ooh.
Strength.
I should have turned that in before I hearthed. Is a boot baiter a gnome?
Go forth to victory. Strength.
Or boot bait, not baiter. Okay. Well, with that being said, I think that'll be good for me today, because I got to get a couple more streams in this week, so I don't want to burn myself. Boot baits are gnomes. They are small, puntlings, terrible creatures. I agree. It's not all Alliance, but it's always a gnome. I'd like to say thank you for the people that listened to me talk today. It's nice to be heard. So I appreciate everyone that was here. And I'm glad you exist. Whoever you are out there behind a username. Whether you are lurking, chatting, whatever. Just being here, of all the places you could be in the world, means the world to me, so... Today I existed. With that, I bid you adieu, and I will see you soon.